Cher in the 1970s. Cher in 2025 at 79 years old. Annie Lennox in the 1980s. Annie Lennox in 2025 at 71 years old. Elton John in the 1970s. Elton John in 2025 at 78 years old. Stevie Wonder in the 1970s. Stevie Wonder in 2025 at 75 years old. Diana Ross in the 1970s. Diana Ross in 2025 at 81 years old. Paul McCartney in the 1970s. Paul McCartney in 2025 at 83 years old. Madonna in the 1980s. Madonna in 2025 at 67 years old. Bruce Springsteen in the 1970s. Bruce Springsteen in 2025 at 76 years old. Phil Collins in the 1980s. Phil Collins in 2025 at 74 years old. Stevie Nicks in the 1970s. Stevie Nicks in 2025 at 77 years old. Lionel Richie in the 1980s. Lionel Richie in 2025 at 75 years old. Cyndi Lauper in the 1980s. Cyndi Lauper in 2025 at 72 years old. Billy Joel in the 1970s. Billy Joel in 2025 at 76 years old. Debbie Harry in the 1970s. Debbie Harry in 2025 at 80 years old. Bryan Adams in the 1980s. Bryan Adams in 2025 at 65 years old. Janet Jackson in the 1980s. Janet Jackson in 2025 at 59 years old. Sting in the 1980s. Sting in 2025 at 74 years old. Rod Stewart in the 1970s. Rod Stewart in 2025 at 80 years old. Peter Gabriel in the 1970s. Peter Gabriel in 2025 at 75 years old. Bonnie Tyler in the 1980s. Bonnie Tyler in 2025 at 74 years old. Gloria Estefan in the 1980s. Gloria Estefan in 2025 at 68 years old. Boy George in the 1980s. Boy George in 2025 at 64 years old. Tina Arena in the 1990s. Tina Arena in 2025 at 58 years old. Suzanne Vega in the 1980s. Suzanne Vega in 2025 at 66 years old. Rick Astley in the 1980s. Rick Astley in 2025 at 59 years old. Kim Wilde in the 1980s. Kim Wilde in 2025 at 64 years old. Pat Benatar in the 1980s. Pat Benatar in 2025 at 72 years old. Kylie Minogue in the 1980s. Kylie Minogue in 2025 at 57 years old. George Benson in the 1970s. George Benson in 2025 at 82 years old. Sada Du in the 1980s. Sada Du in 2025 at 66 years old. From Cher's timeless glamour to Elton John's legendary performances, and from Madonna's reinventions to Stevie Wonder's soulful melodies, these pop icons have left an indelible mark on music history. By 2025, they've not only aged gracefully, but also continued to inspire generations with their talent, resilience, and creativity. Whether it's Diana Ross's enduring elegance, Bruce Springsteen's rock anthems, or Kylie Minogue's pop reign, each artist has carved out a unique legacy. And that wraps up our journey through the lives and careers of these legendary stars. It's incredible to see how much they've evolved and what they've achieved over the decades. Which transformation surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to their fame for more amazing nostalgia-filled content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.